Absolutely.
man, that is a great feeling. And
Yeah.
it's not a feeling of like accomplishing something. It's a feeling of nothingness.
Yeah, it's
of
got
like
nothing to do with that.
clarity. So yeah.
All
so,
that's a result of it.
right.
But you're doing that too at the same time. But
Yeah.
that's why we do that. We get them to set their mind the right way. I always tell them, like, leave all, this is your hour. You're here with me for an hour. Don't bring in, you can't have space for any of the other shit. You only need space for this stuff right now.
And so
And they love it.
Yeah. I wonder, I don't know if this idea of routine, personal development, physical fitness, if the idea of routines has made its way all the way into how we look at our work lives.
Mm-hmm.
I think most people probably say, okay, I have to do this thing called work. Some of us may hate what we do. Some of us may love what we do. But either way, it's work. Our brain tells us it's work.
Right.
And it's, and so it's just like this thing we have to do. I wonder out there in the world, folks listening to this, what other folks do, what kinds of routines they have.
I would love to hear that.
Try to create positive momentum at the beginning of their day. Like, what are their rituals? What are their habits? What are the things that you do to touch the rock? Right.
Yeah. Send those in. If you're listening, I'll put a question submission thing on the podcast. You can do that. So if it's on YouTube, make a comment. If it's in Spotify, send us a question. Send us an answer.
So for me, I'm big on crucial results, like doing things every day, one thing or more things, if the day permits, typically done. That is big. That moves the needle.
Yeah.
And so how do you make space for that in the spirit of what Greg was writing about? I take a few minutes every day to plot out, not to plan out my calendar. I mean, I do look at that. Yeah. That's one of the first things I look at. But mostly it's like, for this day to be a good day, what must be true?
Yeah.
And for me, it's typically doing one big thing that moves us forward as a company.
Well, I think that, you're right.
So and that is one of two things. It's either moving an opportunity forward, a proposal gets shipped, or a conversation with a client has had that creates opportunity, or it's solving a problem. Like, okay, today and this week, I'm going to attempt to close this new team member that I think is perfect for us. Like, I try, and I think it's important to do that every day. I don't do it every day, like every other fucking thing. I mean, things get in the way. I wake up and the phone's ringing or whatever, but like,
you just simply don't feel like it.
Right.
Yeah.
Or that.
You got to have room for that.
Yeah. But when
it's like booking your day so tight with meetings, you forget to leave time to go to the next meeting in between them.
Yep.
I mean, I've done that.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, how do I get over there that quick? Like I've done that.
It's like Hermione and the, whatever, Harry Potter 5.
The time stone thing. Yeah. How did I know you were going there?
Hermione.
But that's important though, because you see that too. We talked about I was making a joke about the, super aggressive morning routine that everybody likes to post about. We do make these to-do lists. We make these lists of things to do daily, but I don't know that that's healthy either. I mean, there are certain things that have to happen every day. I got to pick my kid up at 3:00 every day. Like, he's going to be pretty sad if I'm not there to get him.
Right.
Like,
essential.
That's a hard and fast essential thing. But like, I got really good at all this stuff in my fitness life, in my martial arts life, in my, going out in the woods life. Like, those I got really good at, but my work was still a mess.
Yeah.
And then I realized, well, why don't I apply the same things that I do here to this?
Okay, here we go.
And that's when it got good.
Yeah.
And I've sort of figured out how to make my day go by faster. Is that weird to say? Like the work, the stuff I'd much rather be in the gym or training or out in the woods or hanging out with my boys or whatever. Than sitting here building a website or something. But I've figured out a way to make.
What the fuck about me?
You're one of the boys.
Okay. All right. Cool. Because I was about to be offended.
But not sitting there so long doing those things. Like, I figured out a way to finally get that. For me, it was taking it outside of thinking daily and thinking about it weekly.